This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Now, what gets me excited is when people speak up, and it's one of the things that we do on the show, especially when it comes to worthy and amazing causes. South Africans are ready to declare a truce against violence against women and children, and it's one of the things that we've been highlighting on the show for a long, long time. Ultimately, we're making this a permanent one, and for that, George is in studio. George Grieve is the Managing Director of Vital Health Foods. They've decided that enough is enough, and Vital Health Foods no longer are going to stand back and watch statistics on abuse grow, because that is why the Vital Foundation has launched a campaign. It's the Vital Foundation, and here to talk about it and to tell us how it was all born, and also an exciting announcement to make about it, is George Grieve, MD of Vital Health Foods. And also joining him this morning is Lungiswa, Western Cape Network on Violence Against Women. Welcome to the show. It's exciting to have both of you here. Here we have someone who's a change agent. Here we have someone that's out there giving support. And it's exciting to have both of you on our Feel Good Breakfast show today. George, let's start with you. I'm familiar with Vital Health Foods. I know what it's all about. I'm familiar with the One Rand campaign to make a difference. But let's get back to the basics. Vital Foundation, it was launched last year in August. Why did you initially decide that this is something that we have to do and start?
We decided because enough's enough. The statistics just pile up. Every day you read a newspaper, you read another headline of either a woman being raped or being murdered by a spouse, or a child being raped or abused. And we just couldn't stand it anymore. That we decided, what can we do as an organization? We keep the country healthy. How can we try and keep the country safe as well? So we launched a foundation.
It becomes real when you open the newspaper once again in this week and you realize that there's been another incident. How will this foundation help us make a difference? You know, what has been the results because of the start of the campaign?
I think the big thing when we started the campaign, we said we're not caregivers, we're businessmen. We know how to run organizations,
right,
that for-profit organizations, not NGOs. And we launched a campaign, and when we launched it, it sounded a little bit hollow. 1 Rand makes a difference, because 1 Rand's quite a small amount of money. But I'm happy today to say, thanks to the public, we've raised 1.9 million Rand since August. And that to me shows that 1 Rand can make a difference. And we're now at the stage that we can actually start paying organizations who do really make the difference, who are on the ground, who are doing different things.
The first tranche of funding is available to organizations. How can they apply? How can we get hold of this?
They can apply through our website, the Vital Foundation, and from there we've got a board that will review all the applications, and then we'll pay the funds to those organizations that succeed.
I know that you said you're a businessman, and that's why we've got helpers and caregivers and real change agents in the world to make sure that they take the funds and that they use it. But initially when you started, raising the funds or even deciding on 1 Rand Makes a Difference campaign, how did you envisage that it would help the fight against women and children abuse?
We want to link the corporate world to the people that make a difference on the ground. So what we want to do is say every South African can stand up and say no more. All right, and we'll give the portal so those people can make donations to be able to help the people on the ground who train to help people of the victims of abuse. But they need a portal. They're not fundraisers. They don't have access to Expresso and things like that, whereas we do. So we'll use our might, our corporate might to make that happen. And we challenge all other corporations to join us in the fight against women and children.
It's exciting for me because there's help out there. Lungiswa, once again, welcome to the show. Tell me about your organization and what it aims to achieve.
The organization is the Western Cape Network on Violence Against Women. And it's an organization actually that was started to link service provision, to coordinate service provision in the Western Cape. And also we've got a national reach. So we're not a direct service provider, but our aim is to just bring everybody together that's doing anything around violence against women and children. So we're more of an umbrella body that does that coordination of service provision in the province.
I hear you say service provision and immediately I think money, because you can't do these things without funds. Here we've got people in the corporate business who has decided, the Vital Foundation is there. What's your reaction on this announcement? I mean, what does it mean for your organization?
It's great, really, especially in terms of just where your offices are. And, just a couple of weeks, the stories in Delft, the rape and abuse that has happened in the area. So just practically making it, real, that help would be able to be helping those girls, those families, those also those communities. But also generally, the issue is big. And there's a need. There's organizations that have closed down. And that's a reality because international funding has pulled out because we're not a poor country anymore. We've been taken off that list. And that's a reality. So how do we get support where we're based? Because the businesses in the area, they know the plight of women and children in the country.
Just from a funding point of view, perhaps as an audience, we don't always understand why organizations need money. So just help us along here. Funding challenges within organizations. How does that help fight? What do you use the funding for?
For training, counseling services,
right.
For those organizations that provide counseling.
Sure.
Because to be able to get counselors to support women and children, those need to be paid, especially specialized services, psychologists, psychiatrists, because once the person is seen, they need to be referred somewhere, and sometimes communities aren't able to support that. And also just making awareness raising. Because, in order for this to stop, it has to be taken at every angle. That would mean awareness raising so that people can stop doing this and actually realize what they've got in them that they need to do to make a difference. And also then be able to run offices, rent, to be able to support the services that they're providing in the area. Legal services, to take somebody to court and support them through their case because they've got an interdict case that, appears in court. Things like that, maintenance cases.
It's exciting that there's help out there. I can't tell you how it makes me feel like, women should stand up and report these things because silence, it's something that we spoke about on the show the other day, that not everyone around Valentine's Day will receive a red rose, but a bloody nose, It's stuff that we need to speak out on. So, George, thank you for what you guys are doing. It's important for corporates to do this and to support women. And thank you, Lungiso, for being that umbrella body that distributes and that says, there's help out there. Maybe you don't get enough thank you, so this is our thank you from Expresso side. But vitalfoundation.co.za. That's the website, vitalfoundation.co.za. It's where you can go as an organization. It's where you can find out how you can contribute. You just heard it. 1 rand makes a difference. And if you think it's a little when you purchase that Vital product, it eventually helps a lot of people, especially when we get to how much has been raised. So, George, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Lucas, all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for being the people that becomes the vehicle when it comes to our problems here in South Africa. Well, this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. From making a difference to some exciting stuff on the other side. This time around, it's sport.
The Vital Foundation takes action against women and child abuse. 1 rand from every Vital pack will be donated to organizations fighting abuse. Make a difference.